Hey guys, it's Dennis here, and in this video, I'm going to give you some free training, some basic training on stuff that, depending on what you're looking at, if you're looking at some opportunity or just for your business, if it's high ticket or just regular business sales, you're going to need this stuff. So, just wanted to share some helpful, training for you guys, absolutely free, no opt-ins, no shenanigans, pure content for you to learn and help grow your business. So, what we're going to be doing today is helping you understand how to select the right hosting service. Now, for some of you guys that are, maybe a little bit more advanced, you could tell that this is something really basic, but I still come across even regular business owners and people doing business online that they really don't have a good understanding, at least from my point of view, of how to go about picking the right hosting service and also domain management. So in this video, I'm going to try to, clarify that. Having used almost every single hosting service out there, um, you know, building hundreds and hundreds of websites and managing them. So I'm trying to give you guys basically the right way to approach this. So, and hopefully at the end of the video, you'll have a better understanding of who to go with, your options, and what's the best fit for you. So let's just jump right into it. And the three main hosting providers that I'm gonna go ahead and give you my opinion on is GoDaddy, HostGator, and Bluehost. Why am I using those three? They're the three more popular, hosting services out there. I think everybody out there has had some type of experience with them. Um, and if you're using something else like Just Host or some other provider, then HostGator and Bluehost are similar to them as far as their backend. Okay, as far as service and support, it's a totally different ballgame. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown on that stuff. So uh, let's go into first of all the positives. Okay, with GoDaddy, what's great about them is they're the predominant popular commercial leader in the space, right? They're on TV. They have $1 million Super Bowl ads, and they have cheap domains. They run great campaigns for cheap domains. I think right now you could get a domain for $2.99, right? That's dirt cheap, right? The only cheapest other place you could go to maybe is One on One or Namecheap, and I'm not reviewing them because what I believe is you should have your domains purchased and your hosting all within one account. It just makes life way easier. If you're buying your domains, with GoDaddy and then hosting them on Just Host or Bluehost or HostGator, your life is, I mean, you're just wasting a ton of time. Just, a domain, it's $10. If you have it within your own hosting account, you're able to put up a website in like about 10 minutes. And following this, I'm going to be having some training on how to put up a site in 10 minutes. So that's the reason why I want to cover this first, so that you guys have the basics, the foundation in place. So pros about GoDaddy, they're cheap, run a lot of sales, and that's what I think is the main benefit of them. You know what I mean? Do they have some reliable services? Yeah, I mean they're the more popular company in the space, so I think they're gonna give you a lot of things here and there that might help you. And I've used them, and from my experience, it's really just the price thing with them guys. Everything else after that, and I'll go to it later on, but everything else after that is it's kind of like a non sequitur for me. It doesn't give me any additional value. Um, so the pros with them, cheap domains, and you could get some sales. Okay. HostGator, the pros with them, and I have a HostGator account. Just to let you guys know, I do have a GoDaddy account. So, like I said, I'm using it from experience dealing with them. HostGator, the great thing about them is that they're affordable on a monthly basis, just as affordable, I think, as GoDaddy, even more so, because what they do is they give you unlimited, um, within one account. So, and they include the same stuff that GoDaddy gives you: coupons, credits, 24/7, technical support, all of that stuff, templates. They also have the same type of options with WordPress hosting, VPS hosting, or dedicated hosting. And, I think they do a really good job as far as providing you the hosting. So, and here in my account, logged in, I have a ton of domains with them right now. So, ton of domains in here, and they're good. They're an active account for me. I have some websites on HostGator. I have some websites on Bluehost, and GoDaddy. I've kind of migrated away from them, just dealing with them over time. So I think as far as cost, it's going to be a monthly fee, about $10 a month for unlimited hosting. And what that means is you're going to be able to buy a domain, have it inside your account, and then build a website for no additional cost. Okay. With GoDaddy, what they do is they bring you in on the cheap, and they're gonna basically fee you to death. So I'll get that in. I'll get into that in a minute. But um, so with HostGator, I think the pros is they're affordable monthly. If you saw over there was like five, it's usually $10 if you do it month to month over a year. The one thing I would say, guys, is do not go into a long-term, prepaying for hosting for 3 years out, 2 years out. I always find that it's easier to do, month to month, year to year, because I mean the internet is always changing, guys. So if if you lock yourself into an agreement for 3 years with a hosting provider, who knows if they're gonna be able to support what you want to do? I mean, mobile is getting more prevalent. Apps are becoming much more mainstream too. So I don't think we've gotten to the point where apps are as easy to deploy as websites, but we definitely are going to get there. You know, um, People are just using their phones more and more. You wake up, it's right next to you. You go to sleep, it's right next to you. So that's definitely the future. So locking yourself into any one of these providers, I don't think it's a good idea. Um, so Bluehost, I guess the pros for them, hands down. And I've done, like I said, I've gone on GoDaddy, HostGator. I've used Just Host, One in One. Um, what else? Namecheap, all of them, even Register.com and Network Solutions, going back some time. Bluehost, hands down, has the best support, the best reliability, and when I say best support is if you guys are out there trying to start a business online, uh, and you come across something that you can't handle when you're working in your back end, right? When you're working back here, uh, you call them up, and most of the time, all of their tech support guys are just straight up technical guys that know what they're doing. Um, with GoDaddy, what they're gonna do, and I hate when they do this, when I have a client that comes on board and I call up for the client and I go, look, I'm having this issue with this client. Um, Here's what's going on with their account. We need to maybe move some files around. Maybe something is not working inside WordPress. Can you help me with that? What they'll do is they'll just say, okay, I found an article. Let me send you that article. You figure it out. Okay. I mean, they're right there. They're right there in the back end. It's just a glorified customer service person when you're calling tech support. Whereas with HostGator, they do have good tech support too. You're going to get a range between here in the States and overseas. So depending on your experience with either you get a person overseas or here, that's going to be your experience. They're good. Um, when it comes to Bluehost support, all their support is here in Arizona. It's hands down. The guys are right there. They're right at the knock at the center, the data center, and they're able to get stuff done right away. So I got a ton of domains here too. So I mean, it's Bluehost hands down. If you call in and there's a problem with WordPress or with your site, and they could do it in 5 minutes. They're just gonna say, "Hey, dude, hold on a minute, wait 2 minutes, let me go take care of this for you," and that's just gonna make your time, working on sites. Here goes a bunch of my sites that I have, just that much more easier, and you're gonna be able to Stop the whole frustration of, okay, how do I put a site up? How do I do this? This stuff is broken on the site. They could just take care of it for you. So, um, they have good tools. What I like about them is that they give you a free domain with every single account that you start up with. So that's a huge positive. Um, so that's pretty much, I think, as far as pros. If you're looking for cheap domains, GoDaddy's the place. I do not recommend buying your domains there and having them separate from your hosting account, because then you have to repoint name servers. If you have a domain, it's kind of like, if you use the analogy, I'm buying a phone number from Verizon for my cell phone, and then I want to have it on Sprint, or T-Mobile. There's that time where you need to transfer. It's that same thing. So a little bit even more complicated, because let's say Verizon said they would have to keep that number, and you would always have to be forwarded to Sprint's network or something like that. That's the way it works. So you want to have all your domains and your hosting all within one account. So with HostGator, it's great, um, and I think they're affordable. And with Bluehost, best tech support, in the system, similar to HostGator, a little bit better, and you're going to get a great experience with them. So now the cons. Um, the cons with GoDaddy, I think they're just going to nickel and dime you. For example, when they basically separate their email from their hosting, which, if you're already hosting a domain, the domain is already being hosted on the server. So there's no additional cost on their end for the email. Maybe the client, the email client like the Outlook, or something that you use in the back end is a little bit separate, but that's all pre-made software. So if you go to their uh, email plans, I mean they charge you, you know $4 a month per email. So if you're running a business online and you have different emails that you want to have, like a sales email or an info at email, or if you have new salespeople that you want to bring on, I mean, you're paying for every single one of those emails for those people. I mean, email is just cheap. Email's free. You go to Gmail, it's free. So having an email tied to your domain obviously gives you a professional look, and there's some benefit to that. It's not huge, but I mean, there is a benefit to that. Uh, and I think it just makes everything look, a little bit more professional. So that's just one example. Uh, Another example is, depending on what you come in on, website builder or WordPress, you have to be specific on what you want to build all of your sites on. And based on what you're going to be building on, they're going to definitely fee you here and there for that stuff. So I think they just nickel and dime you. And like I said before, their support is just, I think it's non-existent sometimes. They just kind of go, okay, if I can't figure it out for you in a minute, then I'm sending you an article and you got to figure it out. And that's based on my experience. So with HostGator, what the cons for them, and this should be cons, I guess, is it might be a little bit too techy for some people. The back office, or the cPanel is, it's like your basic cPanel. Now these cPanels have gotten more and more popular over time. So if you're on Just Host or any other host, they're all using this cPanel. It's a Linux-based cPanel, or Windows-based cPanel. So uh, if you're familiar with this, then it shouldn't bother you. You could actually move some of this stuff around, and just knowing where, okay, this is where your email's at, your subdomains and all that stuff. So, um, but you could always call up tech support and they'll walk you through this. So that's what I think is good about it. Um, that's the only thing that I could see that maybe is a little bit of a con, because some people are just not comfortable coming in here. Um, with Bluehost, I think they have the same cPanel. If you go to the cPanel, It's the same layout. It just looks a little bit friendlier because it's white and it's cleaner, but it's basically the same thing, you know. Um, if you're doing any of this stuff, guys, just get familiar with this. It's not that complicated. Most of the time, you're either just in the domain section, in the email section, and maybe using the one-click installation. That's one thing you need to use. And other than that, I mean, you're really not messing around with a lot of this stuff. If you're running some scripts, on PHP, you might have to come in here a little bit. If you got some developers, this is another thing that's really positive is that you have these tools over here. With GoDaddy, they charge you extra for some of these software languages to be installed on your account. So, if you kind of are using some tools that you need to go in there and configure the PHP, or the Ruby on Rails or anything like that, and you're on a GoDaddy, they're going to be like, okay, we need to add that to your account. It's going to be $2 more a month, where it's just a function, really, that's wide known. So um, that would be the one thing. So, but Bluehost is, as long as you're familiar with cPanels, that's the main thing that HostGator would be a little bit techy for some people. With Bluehost, the one con that I could find is the fact there is an upfront cost. They don't have any monthly. They do say over here on the front page it's monthly, but it's actually a monthly cost, and they bill you a year in advance. Okay, so now from a business standpoint, obviously month to month, if you're getting started, with HostGator, that's great. You do it month to month, and you're able to pay as you go. I think there's a huge benefit in paying for your hosting a year in advance. Just 1 year, not 2 or 3, just 1 year, because it basically just makes that cost, you've already taken care of that. And if you're doing anything online, you don't want websites going down because you didn't have $10 to, pay your bill or whatever. Depending on where you guys are at, obviously, $10 is not a huge amount, but depending if you have it on one card and another card and your sites are down for like a day or something like that, you don't want to have any of those problems. So, you know, I think Bluehost gives you number one reliability, best support in the industry, and if you pay for it in advance, I think from a business standpoint, it's a smart decision because you don't have to worry about that for a whole year. You could build all of your sites. Um, all you're doing is once you pay for the whole year of hosting, all you're doing is paying for new domains, which are like $10 a pop. If you're getting a .com, a .net, or something like that. So that's the only additional cost, and you won't have to pay, the hosting. So if you're doing this month to month, you're paying for a new domain that you're starting for a new business, and then you will have to pay for the hosting. So it could be this month I spent, $20. Next month I'm paying $40, depending on what you wanna, get done. So, um, whereas if you pay for everything in advance, it's pretty much that's it. You just got domains that you can buy, and you can throw them in your site, in your cPanel, and have them up. So, um, so that's my recommendation, guys. If you want, obviously you could tell that I'm not a GoDaddy fan, and HostGator, I use them. They're a great solution month to month. I think between HostGator and Bluehost, it's going to come down to whether you want to pay month to month or you want to pay up front. That's what I think it comes down to. And if you want the best support in the biz, obviously Bluehost is the place to go. Um, so let's if you guys are interested, I'm gonna have some links over here that you could go, some affiliate links if you wanna support, this free session of my training. And what I want to do is kind of tie this in with a final lesson over here, for you guys. If you're looking at, big ticket stuff and looking to build a business right now, what I'm doing here is sharing this information with you for free. Um, and I'm sharing this information, which is pretty basic for me, but I think a lot of people still need it. Uh, but then I'm also including at the end of the content that I'm delivering for you, I'm including an affiliate opportunity for me to be able to get paid, right? So the lesson here is obviously learning who to pick for hosting, but also if you're delivering content on the web, whether it is on a blog or on video, you're able to share your knowledge, which a lot of people out there you would think, I think Socrates said we're all kind of ignorant of our own knowledge. We know what we know, but sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And by you sharing this, you're then able to position yourself as, some type of expert in what you know and the knowledge that you know. Everybody has some extent of knowledge, and then you're able to capitalize on that knowledge because right here I'm saying, okay, if you guys want to support me giving you more information like this for free, go ahead and visit some of my links, and I'll get a commission out of that. Incidentally, you guys could do this too. HostGator gives you $25 for everybody you refer. Bluehost gives you $60 to get started. After you get maybe like 3 sales, you can call them up. They'll bump that up to $100. So that's another reason maybe why to use a Bluehost, because they give you a little bit more affiliate commission. So the lesson here, guys, is you know share some content, share some knowledge, make it an opportunity for everybody involved, people getting the content, and also you delivering it. And if you're out there, this is just one series of the training that I'm going to be delivering. If you guys are interested in more information like this for free, obviously go check out my site, timefreedomreview.com. If you're interested in some additional coaching or mentoring, give me a call. My number's right there. And if you would like to learn on how to earn while you learn, you know, we have right now a system in place which allows you to earn anywhere between 2,000, 3,500, up to $22,000 per sale for giving people this type of training. Okay, everybody needs this stuff. Um, it's not readily available out there. You could spend months and years trying to figure all this stuff out, or you could just get an education like your standard education, right? That you go and you go to a classroom, but you could all do it online. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely once you go to our site, there'll be a form there. Just fill it out. You'll get some more information on there. Or if you're interested, just give me a call. Basically, you can earn about $2,000, anywhere between $2,000 to $22,000 for basically reselling this information to other people. So give me a call or fill out the form on the site. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and obviously look out for some more free training videos, and hopefully this has helped you guys, understand a little bit more on, how to select your hosting service. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. Take care. Ciao.